26 वर्षीय इंजीनियर को नई साल में मिला नया हाथ। ट्रेन दुर्घटना में गंवाया था हाथ। परेल स्थित ग्लेन ईगल्स अस्पताल में हुई हाथ प्रत्यारोपण सर्जरी। मुंबई ट्रेन दुर्घटना में हाथ गंवाने के बाद अब नई साल में एक 26 वर्षीय इंजीनियर को नया हाथ मिला है। परेल स्थित ग्लेन ईगल्स अस्पताल के प्लास्टिक, हाथ पुनर्निर्माण, माइक्रो सर्जरी और प्रत्यारोपण विभाग के प्रमुख डॉक्टर नीलेश सतभाई और उनके टीम ने मिलकर यह सर्जरी की है। यह अस्पताल का 13वां सफल हाथ प्रत्यारोपण सर्जरी है, जिससे मरीजों के जीवन की गुणवत्ता में सुधार के लिए अब तक कुल 24 हाथ प्रत्यारोपित किए जा चुके हैं।
Any kind, immunosuppression is essential because the transplanted organ is always different from the recipient's original body. So, for the body to be able to accept the transplanted organ, immunosuppression is essential and compulsory for all kinds of transplants.
And how is extensive rehabilitation when gets to undergo?
Yes, the rehab depends upon the nerve recovery. So based on what level the transplant has been done, that will determine the time, how much it is going to take to recover. So for transplants at say wrist or forearm levels would recover in 4 to 6 months. At elbow they would recover in 6 to 9 months. Above elbow they would recover in say 1 year. At shoulder level they could take 1 to 1.5 year for complete rehab. So the exercises are typically taught based on the nerve recovery. So till then, the effort has to be on.
But does it require hospitalization for that?
No. It does not require any hospitalization. It just requires intermittent outpatient visits. So most important is the time, because the amount of time the tissues can tolerate ischemia, that is being without blood. Once the hand is detached from the donor, it has to be reattached to the recipient and the blood circulation has to be restored at the earliest, so that all the muscles and all the tissues start getting the blood supply. Naturally, in a shoulder level transplant, the amount of muscle mass is much more. At a distal, say forearm level or a wrist level, the amount of tissues are relatively less and the muscular tissue is relatively less. So it can tolerate ischemia for a much longer time. So that is the main challenge. And the second challenge is of course the recovery time, because the distance of the target muscles from the site of the repair is much more. So it is going to take that long to recover. So the motivation has to be maintained till the time we are able to achieve a reasonable recovery.
Very inspiring in the story. I'm sure it will be motivating many people to have a good positive effect in their life. I wanted to understand.
Yeah, so the activity wise, I'm right now I can only do like laying down on bed and sitting by myself. Other than that, if I have to get up from the bed, I need this pouch, or I need help from my parents. And
Movements of the fingers
are not there. I just have a tingling sensation when someone touches my hands. I not on the fingers, but on the biceps where the joint is meet. I felt. I mean, if someone touches, I felt the tingling sensation on my biceps.
Now, for the future, what are your plans once you are completely recovered? Do you have any new plans which you would not have had if you would not have gone through this?
The dream which I always have to expand my father's business, and it's an core electrical field. I could not do any core job. That's why I choose my second option, that was IT. But if I will shortly, but when I'm comfortable, I'll definitely go back to my original dream.
So one thing is the awareness in the society, that people have to be aware that such things are happening and there are many people in need of such surgeries. With time, today people know of eye donation. Most of us know of eye donation. Most of us know that liver transplant, kidney transplants are required, they are happening on a regular basis. But at the same time, transplants like this can also be possible, and we can consider donating organs. Naturally, a family which is donating liver, kidney, heart, lungs, or eyes, if they are aware, they will also donate hands. So the awareness to some extent is lacking also within the medical fraternity, because ultimately the counseling or the decision making happens when the brain dead donor is identified. So at that time, if the counseling happens appropriately, I'm sure more people will be more than willing to donate their hands as well. Because ultimately, the family has come out with such a brave and generous decision at their difficult moment. And a body which is ultimately going to be burnt or buried, if it can be put to use of this type, naturally everybody would be grateful. And the biggest satisfaction that we have noted is that all the other transplants happen, they are internal transplants. Hands are something which you can visualize, you can feel, you can touch. And that sense of our person or our family member remaining alive on somebody else's body even after his actual death is something different. So it is just a matter of time that all these information keeps reaching the society in different forms time and again. That will eventually increase the awareness in the society.
And doctor, during the surgery, like both arms are
Yes, both arms at a time, because the clock is running. Since the time the hands are detached, the timer is on. So we have to be working simultaneously. So that actually adds up to the logistical challenges, because we are actually working in 4 teams initially, where the 2 donor hands are being prepared, the 2 recipient hands are being prepared, and then finally we come down to 2 teams working on both the sides.
and is it done through conventional surgery or any robotics is also involved?
Not robotics, but microscope is involved. All these repairs of the critical structures, the blood vessels, the nerves are done under operating microscope.
Thank you.
Anyway, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि बच्चा जिएगा कैसे, लेकिन वो बहुत हिम्मत वाला है और उसने बहुत मेहनत करी और यहाँ तक पहुँच गया। ईश्वर की कृपा है और सब लोगों की दुआ है, और मैं कुछ नहीं कहता।
नमस्कार सर, मैं आप सभी का धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा कि आप सभी के आशीर्वाद से मेरे बेटे ने बच्चे की तरह इसको अवेयरनेस करके रखा। कुछ नहीं होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा, सब अच्छा होगा। आज मैं सभी का सभी डॉक्टर, सभी सिस्टर, सभी ऑफिस स्टाफ और सबका दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ। और मेरे बेटे को नई जिंदगी देने के लिए मैं डॉक्टर साहब का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Okay. So today we have gathered here to celebrate the successful total arm transplant performed on Ritik Parihar from Indore. So he had met with an accident, a train accident 6 years back, when he lost both his hands at the level of the shoulder. And 1 month back, we've performed this bilateral total arm transplant on Ritik, and it has been a successful surgery. Total arm transplants are extremely rare, and they are being performed at very few centers across the world. That is because of the special challenges that come across along with the total arm transplants. But we at Gleneagles Hospital have one of the largest series now of bilateral total arm transplants, and with multidisciplinary care, we have been able to achieve a good, successful outcome in bilateral total arm transplants. Thank you.
आपको सबको पता होगा कि ग्लेनिगल्स हॉस्पिटल मुंबई जो है ये हैंड ट्रांसप्लांट्स के लिए जाना जाता है। और अभी मिस्टर ऋतिक का जो भी हैंड ट्रांसप्लांट हुआ वो बायलैटरल हैंड ट्रांसप्लांट हुआ है, और ये 13वां पेशेंट है इस हॉस्पिटल में और हमने आज तक 25 हैंड ट्रांसप्लांट किए हैं। और ये बोल के मुझे बड़ी खुशी होती है कि इस तरह के जो अवयवदान होते हैं जिससे बहुत सारे लोगों को फ़ायदे होते हैं। और मुझे लगता है कि इसमें सोसाइटी में बहुत ज़्यादा जागरूकता करने की आवश्यकता है। जैसे कि हमने देखा कि ऋतिक इतना यंग 26 साल की उम्र में उनको जो हैंड ट्रांसप्लांट मिला है उससे उनकी लाइफ कितनी आगे बढ़ सकती है और कितने अच्छे से वो जी सकते हैं। तो इसी तरह हर किसी को ये कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि इसके बारे में जागरूकता बढ़ाएं। हैंड ट्रांसप्लांट बड़ा ही पेचीदा किस्म का एक सर्जरी होती है जिसमें इस हॉस्पिटल को काफ़ी महारत हासिल हुई है और हम चाहते हैं कि यही नहीं और भी हॉस्पिटल्स में ये चीज़ें हो और इसी का यही रीज़न है कि हम चाहते हैं कि इसके बारे में और जागरूकता फैले। शुक्रिया, थैंक यू।